my story basically started with chaos, literally. When my mom was giving birth to me, everything went wrong at once. And honestly, the energy followed me through my whole life. So here's a story of my life, the good, the bad, and the really not good stuff. So let's begin. So when I was born, I couldn't breathe because I was 3 months early. So I had to, get all those things ready and all those things, try to breathe. And I even have, a thing on my arm because of it. And then the next year, my sister was born, Autumn. She was born, and then that was awesome. And, so then we did that, and then we moved to a different town because I don't know why, I was freaking, I don't even know, 3 years old probably when this happened. I have no clue what happened. All I know is that obviously moved to, I'm not gonna say, but moved there, and we only lived there for a few years, if I remember correctly, 3 or 4 years, or something like that. It wasn't that long. But then, and then we moved again to another place, again, I'm not gonna say, and honestly, it was really good. I really liked it. It was really fun. I literally lived, because we moved in 2018, and then we left in 2020, middle of 2020, so, half of, half of COVID, I lived there, and stuff, so, yeah, it was definitely interesting, at least, with, not indoors, no, but yeah, so, and then we moved again to a different house. And this one, I kind of missed. I don't know why, it just has that feel to it. This house I liked it a lot. And, yeah, so I really liked it, the new house I was just in. And I'm just gonna call it House 3, so I'm just gonna call it. So House 3, I really liked a lot. Because, I don't know, it was just really nice, it was really, it was not too big, but it wasn't too small, it was, perfect, so, yeah, but the only problem about this house is that, the dog I had, I forgot to say this, but the dog I had, his name was Chaos. And, all my life, because my dad got my mom this dog in 2008, I believe, so, yeah, and I wasn't in my thing yet, so, but, so, my dog, Chaos, he died in 2020, in that house. He didn't die in the house, but, yeah, so that was really sad, but then only, 2 or 3 weeks later, I believe, my grandpa died, so that was definitely not fun, especially since that was my first time ever that I've ever experienced, death and all those things, because, I was 8, and then also, and then we moved again. Well, actually, before we moved, we got another dog. Her name was Daisy, and obviously she was a really good dog, and so then we moved, so with everybody, so with Daisy, and me, my sister, my brother, my mom, and my mom's boyfriend. I'm not gonna say his name for privacy reasons, but yeah, so we moved to another house again. We only lived there for a year because we didn't really like it that much, but so we moved to a house 4, I was gonna call it, and I liked it because it was neighbors, so it wasn't neighbors, but across the street was a park, so me and my sister and my brother sometimes would just go there and just swing on the swings or whatever. And that was really fun. I really liked that. And then my mom and my mom's boyfriend at the time broke up because my mom's boyfriend didn't really like us 3 that much. I don't even know why. It makes no sense, but whatever, I guess. And so then we moved, obviously, into the next house, which this house was. So we moved again to a different town. And so I forgot to say that. We moved to a different town, from house 3 to 5, I guess it would have been. And then this house 6. So house 6, really, was just, like, it was cool, but then we got, so, in this house, my dog at the time, Daisy, died because, so, it was just me and my sister, we're walking to my dad's car, because, like, he picks us up every time, after school, and we just go in there, but then we just see, so then we go in the car, and then we see our dad crying, and we're like, not our dog's dad, oh my god, I can't speak, but yeah, so, and then, got to the car, and my dad, he was like, started crying, and we were like, why? And he told us that when my mom and Daisy were at the cemetery, my mom tripped, like, off Daisy's leash, went to the road, because I think she was, like, trying to protect my mom, or something like that, and then a truck didn't see her, and then, well, I think you know. So, yeah, and then my sister started crying right away. And I was trying to, like, hold it in. But then when I got to my house and I went to my room, I just cried. And then my sister came in the room. And, then my brother came after school, and then he went to our room and I told him. And then, he was sad. And all of us were sad. And, yeah, it was definitely not a fun time in our lives. But then we got another dog. His name was Nico. I think he's still alive. At least I hope so. But when he lived with us, he bit a lot because it was just a little puppy. It was a German Shepherd. And he, obviously, he bit. And we hated that. So, and then my mom's boyfriend at the time, again, I'm not going to say his name for obvious reasons, but they broke up, and he actually took Nico because I don't know why, but he just did. So, and then we moved to another house. This house, 7. And so this house, we got another dog. His name is Wolf, and we still live with him to this day. And they're, like, the best dog ever. I really like him. He's, like, the best puppy ever. Actually, he's a dog. He's, like, 8 years old, but still. Because he was a shelter dog. He was, like, And so, then we got him, And this house we lived at the time, we only lived there for, 3 months. Because we actually got kicked out of it. Which sucks, because we, all of us, really liked the house. Unless when my mom got a new boyfriend. Again, I'm not gonna say his name. But yeah, so I'm just so happy about that. And then, and then we moved to another house again. My gosh. And it was a different town. I forgot to say it. Well, yeah, it was the same town, but anyways. So then we, went there, and then this is where we lived to this day. And we like it here. It's really nice, like the school, everything like that. But because of this, I moved to 3 whole elementary schools because of it. Because we moved to, multiple towns, but only went to, 2 elementary schools in one town, and then one town, and one elementary school in one town. So then we did that, and yeah, we really like it. But in the meantime, with all of that, my other family members had passed. Actually, 2, of my uncles had passed. And yeah, so I wasn't fun. And then also, some of my other relatives that I barely even knew, because I barely met them, also passed, which sucks, because, it happens, I guess. So, and then, also, another thing I was supposed to tell you, was in 2018, my dad, got an apartment in another town, in a separate town, and, we were just living there, we're, switching back and forth, because my mom and my dad obviously aren't together, so we were just doing that, back and forth, and, I really couldn't miss that place. It was really awesome, because we lived there since 2018 to 2022, so, it was so good, but then, like I said, early 2023, we all moved into the house, 6, house 6, yeah, and, so it was really cool, But, yeah, so it's pretty much my life so far. Oh, well, obviously, and then I started my YouTube channel, which is right now probably the best part of my life, because, it's been really fun, and I really like this, and, yeah, it's pretty much it, pretty much just my story of my life, pretty much, just in, like, a very short, format, if you really want me to go in detail, like, in depth, comment down below, because I can easily do that, I can make, like, a freaking, like, 40-minute video of it, if you guys want me to, like, even longer, if you guys want me to, so, yeah, I can do that, if you guys want, and, yeah, that's pretty much it, so, yeah, bye-bye, everybody.